Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into something that's, well, brilliantly simple, but also incredibly powerful. We're going to see how the waste you throw out every single day can actually be turned into clean, useful energy right in your own backyard. So just imagine this for a second. What if the leftovers from your dinner last night could actually fire up the stove to cook your breakfast this morning? I know, it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but trust me, it's very, very real. And it's all thanks to something called biogas. So what exactly is this stuff? Well, biogas is a totally renewable and clean-burning fuel. It gets created when organic waste, food scraps, stuff like that, breaks down without any oxygen. This whole process has a fancy name, anaerobic digestion, but it's happening in nature all the time. We're just learning how to harness it.
All right, let's break down the big idea here, because it's actually pretty amazing. The whole concept of turning waste into this wonder fuel is, well, it's beautifully straightforward. You basically put one thing in, and you get two incredible things out.
It really is that simple. So on one side, for the input, you're using all sorts of organic waste. Think vegetable peels, leftover rice, cow dung, even the grass you cut in your garden. And the output? What do you get? First, a clean blue flame cooking gas, just like the LPG in a cylinder. And as a fantastic bonus, you get this super powerful, nutrient-rich liquid fertilizer for your plants. It's a win-win.
So how in the world does this magical transformation happen? Well, it all takes place inside what we can kind of think of as a mechanical stomach. It's pretty cool. So let's pull back the curtain and see the science behind how this digester actually works its magic.
What's so fascinating is that it's not just one step. It's a four-stage process. First, hydrolysis breaks all the complex stuff down into simple sugars. Then, in acidogenesis, a whole team of bacteria gets to work, turning those sugars into organic acids. After that, another group of bacteria takes over in acetogenesis, transforming those acids into something called acetic acid. And then, for the grand finale, the real superstars arrive, the methanogens. They munch on the acetic acid, and what do they produce? Methane gas. That's our fuel. It's like a perfect natural assembly line.
So we get the science behind our mechanical stomach now, but, just like any living thing, it needs the right kind of food to really do its job well. So let's figure out what the perfect recipe is for feeding your digester.
And this table here makes it super clear. Not all waste is created equal when you're making biogas. Animal waste, especially cow dung, is fantastic for getting the whole system started because it has all the right bacteria. But if you want the highest gas yield for your daily cooking fuel, kitchen waste is the undisputed champion.
But here's the absolute key. It's all about balance. Just like us, these little bacteria need a balanced diet. The magic formula, the sweet spot you're aiming for, is a carbon to nitrogen ratio of about 25:1. And that's exactly why mixing nitrogen-rich stuff like manure with carbon-rich things like food scraps creates the absolute perfect, most productive party for them to do their work.
Feeling inspired? Good, I hope so. Now let's get to the really fun part, seeing how this all comes together in a practical, hands-on way. We're going to walk through how you could build your very own backyard energy project.
Okay, so you've got two main choices for the digester itself. The fixed dome is a solid, permanent option, but man, it's way harder to build. So for anyone who's a DIY fan, the floating drum method is what I would highly, highly recommend. You can literally see the gas level rise and fall, and it gives you a nice, steady pressure automatically. And here's what you'd need to grab for that floating drum system. See, it's not that complicated. It's built around two of those big, common plastic tanks. A 1,000-liter one for the digester, and a slightly smaller 750-liter one that floats on top to hold the gas. Everything else is just standard plumbing parts you can find anywhere.
Setting it all up is a simple four-step process. First, you seed it with a starter mix of cow dung and water. Then, you load the tank till it's about 3/4 full. Now, step 3 is important. You have to be patient. You let it sit for about 2 weeks. The first gas that it makes isn't the good stuff, so you just release it. But once you can light a beautiful blue flame, you are in business. Then you can start feeding it a little bit of mashed food waste every day.
Okay, and this is absolutely critical. Let's talk safety. First, build this in a place with plenty of fresh air. And to check for any gas leaks, please always use soapy water. Never ever an open flame. Oh, and here's a great little tip. If the tank ever starts to smell kind of sour, it just means it has a little indigestion. Just add a tablespoon of baking soda to help it feel better.
So, you've built the system, you're making your own fuel from your own waste, which is amazing, but why does this really matter in the grand scheme of things? Well, the impact is actually way bigger than you might think.
Right off the bat, the most obvious benefit is saving money. For so many families that have to buy LPG or gas cylinders for cooking, a home biogas system can seriously reduce that cost, or in some cases, even get rid of it entirely. That's real savings, day after day.
And the health benefits, wow, they are just as important. Biogas burns clean, no smoke. This helps prevent all those serious respiratory problems that can be caused by cooking over smoky fires inside. It just leads to much, much healthier homes.
And this number, this is the one that really drives it home for me. For every single cubic meter of biogas you produce and use, you stop the equivalent of 4 kilograms of carbon dioxide from going into the atmosphere. It's the perfect example of how a small-scale solution can have a massive collective impact.
So that brings us to the final thought here. This whole process, it completely changes how we look at things, right? It shows us that waste isn't really waste. It's not an endpoint. It's a starting point. It's a resource. So the real question to leave you with is, if your waste isn't waste, what will you create with it?